Action. You're up, guys. Ari Gold shows energy. Today I want to talk about the magic of letting go. It's gonna be a channeled shoot, which means like I don't have any script, I don't have any thoughts, I don't have any bubbles, nothing really planned out. I'm just gonna like speak from my heart, just as it comes out. So be ready, and here we go. Okay, so pretty much I want to talk about the magic of letting go. So magical aspects of letting go is so powerful because many of us we like to live life and not really letting things go that are like holding us back. So let's start with the letting go. So what is letting go? Letting go means that whatever is in your thoughts, your past, your just anything that is literally bothering you, that is literally making you feel unpleasant and not your best self, it is time to let them go. So we are letting go of things that no longer serve us. So let's say things that we have done in the past that we're not happy of, or things that people have done to us that we're not really happy with because we haven't really come to a final kind of a mutual understanding of that and whatever just had happened. And it just means things that we have not let go. I mean, pretty simply. So if you have things in your head that is bothering you every single day, when you wake up, let's say you're having a great day, and at the end of the day you're yeah, but that thing though, it's still bothering you. That's something that you have to let go. Because as long as you keep that in your mind as you are living your life in the now, in the present moment, you'll never actually be free or you'll never actually enjoy the liberty of now, because those things are in the past and they're literally taking you to the past, and therefore you're not really living in the now. So as long as you live with those past thoughts, you can never actually enjoy the present moment, because that will not really be who you really are. Because who you really are right now, it is you. So whatever you are now, it is your latest version. So by living in the past, you're actually living in your older version. It's kind of think about having an iPhone or a MacBook or anything with an old processor. It's not going to work properly, right? So it is time for you to live in the now with your latest updates, because your phone has to be your brain, your mental, your physical. Everything is connected to your now. So if you live in the now, then you can only be living in the now. And if you know how to live mindfully and aware of your thoughts and your emotions, then living in the now can only best serve you in the best way, not in the worst way. But living in the past will only serve you in the worst way, because in the past we didn't really know much about awareness and meditation, and not actually meditation, but we were not as mindful as we are now because of the energy in the air around the earth, the universe, So therefore, living in the now can only serve us well. So the things that we want to let go is things that are bothering us every single day when we are waking up, or during lunchtime, or during any time. Just whatever things that just keep coming up in our minds and are just kind of holding us back from actually enjoying that present moment. So once we let these things go and just say peace, peace, right? I mean, I'm trying to use some modern trends here, and it's kind of stupid, but it's funny. So as long as we let those things go by saying, dude, adios, like the drink, mother, you know what? As long as we push those things go, I think you got the point. We will not have to go back and to revisit them, and by not revisiting them, by letting it stay in the past, we won't have to repeat that thing, because there is really a magical thing about not letting go. So the things that we don't let go, they keep coming up and up and up in our life, and until we actually kind of serve them a full sentence and let them go and just kind of live without them. If something happened, I don't know, somebody owed you money, right? And you never got the money back, and you keep thinking about that money, saying, oh man, I don't know how he or she screwed me over, that was my money, that was my hard-earned money. But the truth of the matter is that it's just the money. At the end of the day, it is just something that will just happen. That's just something that happened that literally it couldn't really possibly be your fault, but it's something that happened that it fell under karma. But in order for you to not have to experience that again, and for somebody to not actually kind of take advantage of you or etc., then you have to let go now Otherwise, if you keep thinking about them, like how they kind of took the money and they owed you and etc., your thoughts are going to create similar scenarios where people still will somewhere try to screw you over or get your money, or you will be like taking a loss in something. So because your thoughts create your present moment. So if you let things go and just put them in the past and just archive it, then you don't have to actually like deal with them again. Therefore, it will not reoccur in your present moment right now. So that's the magic of letting go, and why it's so important, because by letting go, you're not just like letting go from your thoughts, but you're letting go from also happening again in the future, because you have kind of came to full term and full understanding with that thing that is bothering you every single day. Yeah, so that's one thing that you should let go. The second thing that I want to talk about is like letting go of anything that comes in your present moment. So let's say if you were let's say you were driving on the street and some idiot, I want idiot because those people are usually, and no offense to no judgment, just if you're causing somebody else a negative vibe, you're an idiot, because you're just like, that's not nice. And I have the right to say that, because I feel like everyone should love everyone and respect everyone. And yeah, and don't like allow, but then again, I mean, shit happens, so people do that. So just let it go. So my point is, so that stuff happens, so like someone just put in front of you, or just puts the window down and says, hey, a-hole, or F, or middle finger, drive faster, or whatever. Just let it go. Let it go. Because at that second, just think about it. Like, is this thing really important enough for me to actually like put my energy and my beautiful aura, my energy in this? Just think about that. Just think, is this worth my energy being tortured or interfered? No, it's not. That second, you might try to kind of like overreact because of the fact that like that area, that EMF, the electromagnetic field, may have been like already contaminated by other drivers that had that little incident happening there. So if you have that happening and you just ask yourself, how did it escalate so quickly to that moment? You'll have to just know that it wasn't really you. It was the EMF that was around there that was creating that emotion, that reaction, right? So once you are able to embrace that concept of things are not really your thoughts, then that's the best way to let it go, by saying that it wasn't me, it happened, I'm gonna let it go. It is much easier said than done, but once you get to the point of like within a meditation, with enough understanding, you realize how like letting go is the most powerful weapon you have that we never use. Because by letting go, you're saying that I can resist from like that happening, and I can just let it go. I can resist like overreacting. I can resist, like it's like that's literally making you a full-blown no resistance living soul and entity. So like that literally will make you feel so powerful, and in the future when that things happen again, like let's say you run, or like you're on a phone call and just someone just pisses you off, like you will like not even take, you literally see everything more lightly, and you'll be like, okay, I don't have to stress over this because it's just a temporary thing. So seeing everything in a temporary way, is the goal here. Like seeing, always asking yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my peace? Is this worth my rest of the day going wrong? You know, because once you start with a negative path, once you trigger that negative thought, it's like this snowball effect. It keeps going worse and worse and worse, and that's gonna just like repeat itself until you're like, oh my god, okay, I need to meditate. So it's not really worth for you to go through all that, especially if you can't really change it, the outcome of it. I mean, the point of the thing is that it's like many times it's so rare that we can also, it's so rare that we can change an outcome after something happened that quickly. But a lot of times the best way to actually do it is to learn from that thing and say, okay, next time I will just be more smart about it or something. But many things that is not in our power, the most powerful thing we can do is to just let it go. Because once we let it go and we say adios, peace, then we don't actually have to deal with that again. And by not dealing with that again, like we will allow for better things to come into our life and come into fruition in our life path. And therefore, like we will literally, that the blessings that we get, the positive manifestations and fruitions, everything that we get, it'll kind of like come and just cover all the negative that just happened like a week, an hour, or a minute before that. So that's really important to understand that as long as you don't let things get stuck with you and pull you down, you're only ascending forward. Because once you start letting things to kind of like come into your head and just kind of like anchor you down with negative energy, then you're actually descending instead of ascending, which really is bad, because it means that you're not really staying in the present moment, and the present moment is not gonna like literally have any kind of a correlation with yourself. Therefore, you're gonna feel off balance, you're gonna feel mad, you're gonna feel like out of character, like not out of character, but you're going to feel like out of shape, out of like alignment, out of what's the word? You're not gonna feel like vibrationally aligned, which means that you're gonna be like off of your energy. You're gonna feel like fatigued, like exhausted. You're gonna feel, I'm using the wrong word. Fatigue is the wrong word. You're definitely gonna feel like not yourself, no matter like what you think. You're gonna just kind of like feel disturbed. So you're not gonna feel like you are your own person. You're gonna be like, well, why am I so off today? And the reason why, because you're letting those thoughts get stuck with you, like kind of like just saving your mind instead of just like putting it in the recycle bin and just emptying that out and saying, dude, I'm out for it. I'm done with you for good, permanently. So that's the trick. So that's what letting go is. So pretty much, just remember, so those two things are, first is letting go of all your past that has happened, that is bothering you every single day or every single hour, and then just like letting go of the things that comes into your life. Because by letting go of everything that is happening in the now, then you don't even have to worry about them becoming a past and coming back and haunting your mind, you know, and your thoughts and your emotions. And by doing so, you will literally be able to kind of pave the way of your new path in the now to actually go perfectly, because you will not have any of your past thoughts creating your now future, because your mind, your emotions will be more restful, more clear, no actual negative thoughts of the past, of actual scenarios that can actually physically come into fruition, because you're on a high vibe and those thoughts are still there. Because when you're on a high vibe, you have to understand this. When you're on a high vibe, it's kind of like being on a winning streak, and whatever thoughts you think, even though like they're negative, they'll still come to fruition because you're on a high vibe alignment and in your work. So when you're at work, you have to be really careful. That's why like whenever you see like 111 on the clock or anywhere, it just means like focus on your thoughts because they're coming to fruition. Same goes for number 222. I mean, it's just telling you that your thoughts are really important, so make sure you think of them carefully. So that's the reason why I'm so into like numerology, into angel numbers, because they're really the true like kind of messages from the higher being, from the higher self, from the source, from the universe, whatever you want to call it, from God. So the angels, the archangels, the amazing, beautiful, spiritual entities that are all around us. Everyone, like right now that I'm speaking, I'm like channeling this. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, as long as you kind of like live with letting go kind of a concept, or letting go objective, or letting go discipline, that will literally help you in living a life with less pain, literally. I mean, once in a blue moon, like I said, you will have people that will just try to kind of like, and this happens every day, because you see like 80% or more, 90% of people are still sleeping, meaning they have no idea what energy is. That's the reason why it is so imperative for you to be spiritually awakened and aware and mindful, so that you can influence other people around you to feel like you. Like, I'm a second waver, so my purpose in life here is not to make money and be rich and like buy fancy cars and be on TV or be on the screen of every movie. My job is to generate enough energy through whatever source I can, whatever way I can, to be able to create this really huge magnetic field of good energy for everyone to kind of like just dive into like a pool and just kind of like be awakened with me, you know? So that is my purpose. So like, and many of us have that purpose too, because many of us are like, we're all starseeds, and I'm gonna make a video on this soon, because starseeds are pretty much like, we are here, I mean everyone's a starseed, but the ones that are awakened now are pretty much counted upon by the higher source and energy and universe for us to actually make a difference, because they know that we can. So if you kind of feel like, actually that's a whole different topic, I don't want to go there, but feel like a starseed is someone that can transmit energy, information, and generate energy, and create energy for everyone else to kind of like be up to speed with them, you know? So it's kind of like this like just think of it like an antenna. We can download information from the transmission of the universe that is happening up above and around us, and we can just like deliver that whatever we download. So that's pretty much what starseed is in my understanding. And I'm a starseed. I've seen that, like I can clearly like kind of feel that from the inside, and I've been told from my higher being during meditation, during thoughts that just come to me like out of the blue, which really means that I'm really super woke and super super aligned and super in touch with my inner being, with my higher self. Anyway guys, I want to go off topic. It's already been 20 minutes, so I will finish with this thought. So the first was just to kind of recap, just so you guys can have this really thing like in your mind, is letting go of whatever has happened in the past that is not serving you anymore, that is lowering the vibrations. And this way, by letting go, you don't have to repeat them again, because you will complete that karma. And meaning, like, you don't have to have that in your thoughts, and by not having that in your thoughts, you don't have to repeat them again, because your thoughts create your now, your present. And then the second is letting go anything that is literally happening as we speak in the present moment, because by letting go that things that happen to you like right now, and it didn't serve you because it kind of made you feel a little upset or off your alignment, then it's okay, because by letting go, that's not going to affect your energy for now or in the future. The other one is that I want to just pretty much point out to conclude this video is not have anything karmic in your past, because as long as you allow karma to exist in your spirit, and that's your consciousness, like, you will have to come back and repeat over and over again that same exact thing until you kind of learn from that enough to just let it go. So things like, let's say if you've done something bad to someone and you're not forgiving yourself, that's karma left in your spirit, like in your DNA. It's kind of hard to explain exactly thing, but it's kind of like, think of you like as a storage, like a hard drive, and that's saved in your hard drive. So by kind of like by letting go, by completing that karma, by forgiving them, forgiving yourself, if there's something that you have to do to make that happen, do it. Even if it takes a little bit of effort, just let it go. Make sure you either get forgiveness or forgive yourself if that person is gone. And by letting go and not having that in your thoughts, again, this is coming back to number one of not letting that be in your thoughts, you know? Because by not letting that be in your thoughts, you are literally feeling like you will be living in the present moment instead of the past. So that's pretty much the third one, which means that don't have anything karmic that will haunt you and bring the same scenario, same unpleasant stuff back into your life in your present moment by letting go. So that's the third thing. So live karma free by not screwing anybody over, living honest. Just pretty much living honest is the ultimate goal here. Living honest, living truthful, living with gratitude, living with love, living with the concept of oneness, meaning we are all one. So if you make somebody else's life bad, you're actually making yourself bad in a bigger, like in a more higher way. And so yeah, so that's pretty much the key of not allowing that to happen. So that's the 1 to 3. So if you just let go of these three things, the trifecta, which is past thoughts, emotions, anything that is bringing you down and just kind of like angering you down negatively, and letting go of anything that is happening right now in the moment by letting it just come and just pass through you instead of hanging and holding on to it. And the third is letting go of anything that is karmic in your past that is bothering you in the now, not the future, but in the now. And by doing so, you literally, your energy, your soul, your spirit, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your physical, every little version of you. Sorry. So by doing so, every version, like by doing so, your soul, your spirit, your consciousness, everything, your thoughts, your emotions, everything will just be at a reset state all the time, in a neutral state. So, and your mind will just be clear in the moment, in the present moment, without having to be like everywhere, because your thoughts are like everywhere. So this way you will have zero guilt, because guilt is just a word. And by letting go of the karmic anything in the past, that will kill the guilt, which will be off, done. And then the second, by having no thoughts of the past, of stuff that happened and etc. and everything that is just negative. I mean, positive, sure, have thoughts, but not the negative stuff. By not having those, you don't have to ever think about them, and by not thinking about them, you'll be able to let them go and never have to allow them to come into your present moment, because they will not be in your thoughts, because your thoughts create your now, right? Your reality now. Third is allowing things to just come and pass through you, whatever happens in your day, whether it's some guy pulling in front of you with a car, someone treated you wrong, somebody would just mad at themselves and they just put everything on you. Pretty much just allow that to just come through you and just pass through you, not just hang on to you and just hang on to your thoughts and your emotions. So by doing those three things, is 1, 2, and 3, you will literally feel like life is beautiful, because nothing will literally block you from getting good stuff in your life. Because this is what I always talk about on my Instagram page. When you let things go, you actually allow space for good things to come in. Because when you have a lot of negative stuff in you, like occupying you all the way up, choking you up to your chin, up to your top, then you don't actually allow good things to come in your life, because there's not enough room. It's like if your mind is full of negative thoughts and karmic backgrounds, karmic signatures, and like the present moment is all whack and out of alignment, then positive things are not even possible to even come to you, because you're not, first of all, aligned with that high frequency to get good stuff in your life, and second, there's no space in your mind for that things to even exist, because you're not like vibrationally in resonance with that. So anyways, that's it. I just want to close the video by saying thank you for watching. This is Ari Gold, Chosen Energy, and I'll see you guys next time with another amazing topic that will benefit you and bring value to your life, to your now, and to your future. Much love, peace, namaste. That's a wrap. Yeah.